That's
Steen,
where I was born. Yeah.
we're out here. You're out here homeless in Vancouver. Tell me
Yeah.
about it.
Well, I tell you, I mean, I the reason I'm here right now, I'll tell you the most recent story. I'll back up a little bit here. I was sharing a place down at 4th and McDonald with two fellows, and I knew them. I knew one really well for 30 years. The other guy I didn't know that well, but it was big. It was a big one-bedroom right beside Natty's Produce, you know, down at 4th and McDonald. And so I moved in there, and Donnie, his name was Donnie, the guy I knew really well. I was living over at the Shaughnessy Village for 3.5 years, but they kept jacking the rent up. It was on 6-month leases. They jacked it up so high I couldn't pay it anymore. I said goodbye. So Donnie said, well, come on down here and we'll just split it 3 ways. There's 3 of us, you know. And that worked just fine until Donnie had a stroke. And he collapsed. He was 53. He collapsed right in front of me. And I called the ambulance, 6:30 in the morning. They picked him up and they took him down to the hospital, and I called a couple hours later to see how he was. They said he's in palliative care. That means he's dying, because they don't put anybody in palliative unless they're going. And then I went, oh my God, you know. And so he died 3 days later after they took him to the hospital. So that was the end of my good friend. And that really crushed me. And then the other guy, Dennis, got hit by a car. But he didn't die. His name was Dennis Garrett. He didn't die on the spot, but he was busted up enough that they had to put all kinds of pins and screws and metal in his body and all this stuff. He was in a wheelchair for 6 months. Then he got out of the wheelchair, and then he walked around in crutches for maybe 3-4 months, and it looked like he was recovering. Then he started to have seizures.
Oh, jeez.
He went stiff as a board, you know. And I called the ambulance a couple of times on that. He went into the bathtub, had a seizure, and drowned in the bathtub. That was the end of him.
Wow.
And then the water pipes burst in the ceiling, collapsed the whole bathroom ceiling. The kitchen walls were falling in. The stove didn't work. Our fridge didn't work. Nothing worked. The place was you couldn't occupy it. It was not fit for occupation. And all that crap came down on me in about 1 year, all of it. And I thought, I'm out of here. I can't take this crap anymore. So I called a mover, got a storage locker, and moved, and just got it all out. Hit the street, and I'm still sitting here, and I'm waiting for that building up at 16th and Dunbar to be completed. And first they said it's April, then they said it's June, then they said it's July, now it's November. And they promised me that I would not spend another winter out here. And I'm just going...
What's that building? I'm not from here.
It's at 16th and Dunbar.
So
It's a nice building. It's under construction. They got about 3/4 completed.
what is it, low-income housing or something?
Yeah, it's BC housing. That's right. So it's like it's 400 square feet, $380 a month, basically, is what it is. And I'm going, oh, well, thank you. I mean, get me in there. Get me off that street. I'm telling Jody this. And I said, if anybody attacks me out here, I'm going to have to defend myself. Because, you know, I got a spot to sleep over in the back alley over there. And it's a commercial establishment. I watch their vehicles, their back door, and all this stuff. And they let me sleep there. There's no money exchanging hands.
Right.
I'm just there.
Right.
So... you know, that's a fine arrangement. But how long can that go on?
Right.
You know, it's
Well,
like,
you're talking about people dying, that people are dying.
yeah,
out
I'm
here.
talking about dead people I know that have already died, and now we got another 2 on the plate, right?
So people are, I mean, it's, you know, several of your homeless friends are in the emergency room.
They're in and out of emergency beds. There's at least 2. Well, we're talking about, you know who they are, Danny and Tommy. Yeah. They're up next. I'm telling you, they're gonna die. And there's other cases we don't know about. There's a guy named Chad. He was a native guy. He looked pretty healthy. You know him? Yeah. And he killed over. He was with his girlfriend, wife, whatever, Diane, you know?
So.
And she was pretty shook up already. I thought, man, she's walking with a cane. She's lost one eye, and she's pretty sick looking, you know? I was worried about her. And then he died. And Chad was a friend of mine. I liked him. He was a
How
nice
many
guy.
friends have you had that died in the last year?
In the last year, I'd say conservatively 6,
Wow.
but it could have been a couple more. But it's going to continue.
Right.
And you know what? That building up in Dunbar, they have 51 units going in there. And I was talking to Joe Dean, and I said, "You got 51 units there." I said, "Can you guarantee me that I'll get into one?" There's nothing confirmed.
Right.
Nothing. Zero. You can't even contact them.
So what's your future like?
My future, it's in by the grace of God. That's where it is. That's how I live. I mean, I live by a series of small miracles. I don't expect one big one like the lottery. I just live. And you know what? It works. I got a family. I got 2 grown-up children and 4 sisters, and I'm in touch with them. I am not exactly, some kind of derelict that, with beyond anything, but I can't move in with them. I can't say, "Hey, I'm moving in with you tomorrow." I can't do that.
If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
The first wish would be I would put a down payment on a condo in heaven. Second wish, I would wish that everybody is healthy and happy. And the third wish, I'd say, give me the first one back.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
No problem.